Good morning and hello people of social media. I am Andrew from AJ Outdoors Custom Rods, and we're not going to build a rod on this one. We're just going to talk about making the investment of a power wrapper. It's a big decision to make. There's a lot of different models out there. HFF Custom Rods just came out with one that looks like it's mostly a plastic track. For some people, that would probably work out great. But right now, I don't think they have it up to specs to where you can use it as a lathe to cut cork and EVA foam. That one, I think, retails around $3.99 or so. That's on their website if you want to look at that. You have your Alps, you have, of course, Mudholes RBS G2. There's a few more out there that I'm not so much aware of, but the other ones have the aluminum tracks. They can stand up to cutting cork and EVA and being used as a lathe more than just a power wrapper and a dryer. This decision has weighed on my mind for a while because, like I said, it's not a small investment. Mudholes RBS Pro is just south of $1,000. For me, that's a big investment at this stage of the business anyway. So if you're also having to contemplate this decision, maybe I can help you decide. The 5 things I considered when making this purchase were output need, customer demand. Do you have a high enough customer demand to need it to help speed up your process? Me, I do not. I have a decent amount of orders coming in and going out, but it's not. I have a CRB hand wrapper now, and that's what I use for the most part. 2 is space. These aren't small bases. You get 3 33-inch aluminum sections, at least with the RBS. It comes with 3 33-inch tracks. It's almost 9 feet long. When I built my workbench for making rods, I had this in mind that if I got into the fly fishing stuff, you're going to need close to a 10-foot bench, and so I have the room. Number 3, quality of work. I like making them by hand, hand turning them, hand putting the guides on. This one kind of, with the foot pedal, being able to use a foot pedal, that would both help with speed and possibly quality control when you're doing your epoxy on the guides and your decals. And if you do a tiger wrap, you've got a long stretch to epoxy. That would be nice. I've got the RBS or CRB dryer, the single one. It's nice, but you can't stop it and start it because I don't have the clutch system for it. Just the wire fingers that hold the rod. So it makes it kind of a pain. I went to just using rod stands and hand turning it. So I'm still using one hand to turn it, one hand to epoxy. That seemed easier. So I'm hoping the use of a foot pedal would make it easier to do those long stretches of epoxy to try and get them as smooth and without ripples as possible. Making grips. Like I said, if you buy the Alps or something with an aluminum track, you usually can. They're made to work as a lathe also for cork, at least for cork and EVA and softer items. I don't think I'd put a tree branch on it and use it like that, but to actually turn solid wood, that would be more for a wood lathe that you'd have out in the shop. Make your job easier in making a rod. That is 100%. Like I said, I have the CRB hand wrapper, and you've only got, a foot or so maybe in between the two rod stands that are attached to it. For me, my hands aren't big, but they're not small. When you throw a spinning guide in there that sticks off the rod blank, 2 inches or so, that makes it a little bit more difficult to get in there and wrap the guides. Or if you're doing a long, 4 to 6 inch tiger wrap, it gets pretty congested in there with 2 hands and that. So with those considerations, I hit a yes on a couple of those for me. So I decided to make the investment in the company and buy one. I hope this helps somebody out there make the same decision and come to a good answer. We'll see if this was a good answer or not. It'll make it easier to build, maybe a little faster. I'm not really worried about speed. Quality on the epoxy jobs with the foot pedal, being able to start and stop it when I want, that will be huge. And I really would like to get into the EVA turning and making custom hand or grips or handles for rods. I've already got some EVA foam that's sitting in a box next to me that I just ordered and got yesterday, along with 7 rod blanks of all different makes and sizes that we'll get to in the coming weeks. Hopefully I'll be able to make some videos for you guys on those, at least hit the highlights of them. And watch me make a mess of my workspace with the EVA foam. But I hope this helps people out there make a decision on one way or the other, whether you want to or not. I said, if you just want to use it as a power wrapper, HFF has a nice system out there. It looks like I said, it's plastic, it snaps together. It would be easy to pick up and move. If you had the situation where you wanted to, you're on vacation for a week, you're driving up north, hey, I'll take this with me, and maybe if I need a rod repair or something, I can just do it up there. Or you've got clientele in 2 different areas and you're going up north, you want to kick out a couple rods over a week, then that might be the system you want. And it's like I said, I think it sells for $3.99 in that ballpark anyway. So that's not a bad price. But keep in mind, I don't think it's designed to do lathe work or turn handles and cork, EVA and cork. So the Alps runs $600 to $700, I think, and the Mudhole RBS system is just south of $1,000, depending on which configuration you buy, rod stands and thread carriage. Keep in mind, if you get the standard G2 Pro, it only comes with a 2-thread spooler, and to do a tiger wrap, you need something that holds at least 3 spools of thread. Unless you figured out how to hold good tension with a 3rd spool in your hand, that's going to be difficult. But we'll get this video out and posted for people to review and watch. Hopefully it answers some questions, like I said. The next video I put out will be on how to put it together, because I've never came across a video yet that shows how to put this thing together. Maybe Mudhole has one on their website, I would assume so, but we're gonna try it freestyle and see how it happens. You can watch if I make mistakes or not. I haven't even started, I just took it out of the box. It's just sitting here waiting for me to put it together. Everybody have a great week, and we'll see you later.